Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's not much to convince here. Chainsaw Man, a beyond successful show, property, everything, the whole shebang. And just frankly doesn't miss, it seems. I don't think I need to do a lot of convincing to tell you how good this show is, how interesting and violent and batshit and crazy and interesting it is. Feeling like a mixture of kind of like John Wick, the first movie where they introduce you to the world, expertly giving you characters that just stand out and in absurd ways, but also make complete sense. Like Denji being given such a terrible lot in life that the very things he strives for are kind of simple, like jam on toast. All of that is fantastical. I don't think I need to convince you that this show does a lot of things well. However, I do think you probably could get ruined by the fact that you go into it thinking it's like gonna be the best thing ever. It's gonna be like seeing God. No, it's good, it's great, it's really good, but I do feel like expectations are appropriate here to be set them like, hey, you're gonna want to continue this story, you're gonna want to see more of this world, is it? But the one thing that I have not been seeing recently be given enough credit is episode 8. My God. One of the things that I can't stand in storytelling is when a lamb is almost raised for slaughter. What I mean by that is there's a character, they're gonna make you fall in love with that character, they're gonna make you connect, resonate, enjoy that character to no ends, while then immediately, strategically, calculatively just snipping the cord, knocking them dead, and now you're sitting there feeling hollow and empty. Only thing is I oftentimes don't even feel that. I just feel kind of betrayed, frustrated, and annoyed that I know what the designers are doing, or the storytellers are doing in this case, and it just feels cheap and weak. As you can tell, I don't like death in shows when it is meaningless or purposeless, I never have. But Chainsaw Man in episode 8 does something so beautifully well. Himeno, or I'm gonna call her Eye Patch Girl because I'm terrible at saying names, is a character that we were introduced very, very softly, kind of like a background character, but even still is incredibly endearing in the tiny moments that we've seen her. But you never can shake this feeling in Chainsaw Man that there's this ambient horror, this gloomy loss, just rife in the air. Shout out to the people that make all those things happen. So as each episode goes by, we finally get to meet this character, this girl with this eye patch, and slowly, bit by bit, expertly, masterfully, they start pulling back layers and showing their relationship with Aki, showing the suffering that she's went through, and understanding this character so clearly that it's insane. Understanding why she is so attached to Aki, why she does something so simple as smoking cigarettes, which is something that can kill you. It's stupid, it doesn't make any sense, but if you believe you're gonna die anyway, then who fucking cares? Like, there's just so many layers of, oh, I know why. I can pick up on that. That's brilliant. Even showcasing that she's not so virtuous or perfect. She was ready to throw the main character to the wolves if it meant saving more people, which is a very human and realistic thing to do. Even if it's your person you care about, it's still like, hey, this is the person that I adore, that I need. So of course I want to get out. But a lot of us are Team Denji, so we're kind of like, well, you're kind of a little bit dog shit. Fuck you a little bit. But then they immediately go into another layer to talk about, oh, wait. No, she is actually on board now. She's on board. She's become a fan of Denji in the same way that we all have, which is this dude's a fucking chaos machine, just a grinder, just a grinder for all things corrupt. It's gorgeous. And then we see various layers from her mentor, her mentor telling her that she's not made for this. She's not good enough. She's not insane enough to have variables to where demons can't manipulate or predict what you're gonna do anymore. But she can see that in Denji, and then she starts thinking, holy crap, this guy might be the guy that saves the world, pieces it back together in his own psychotic and bloodthirsty way. And just the back and forth intricacies that just happened in that one scene. Boom, 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 boom. Aki gets hurt. She's kind of against Denji a little bit, but then she pulls it back, and we are now on her side. We recognize her as a fan of Denji now, and all of these things. And she's trying to make it right, so then we get to understand that quite a bit. And then we see just an absolute mess. Nothing has ruined a kiss scene in that way at all. And they go fucking hard in the paint where she pukes and hits back. Taking like a super stressful, complicated situation and then just immediately showing like what could absolutely happen and is awful that it happened. Oh my God, no. And then as a listener, you're kind of rattled, you're kind of thrown around like, ew, what the heck am I watching? This is awful. Only for you to then be cradled by episode 8. We finally get to this episode, which to me is masterful, building atop what we just talked about. First of all, they nailed like what it is to be a person who's kind of like just floating around their apartment, not knowing what to do. Inhibitions kind of dissolved completely, that kind of thing. And oh man, I wish somebody smarter than me did like an absolute giga breakdown of these scenes. Just the softness of everything that comes together, man. The breeze, the lighting, the still shots that are quiet, and we just get to see her like crack a beer, drink it, and crouch on the ground and go like, just seem drained. Then to only kind of stumble into the room where Denji is, and then for a bunch of weird, messy, but very, very human things happen. Like, anime is not the thing where we usually get a good insight into how human beings generally function. It's usually like, oops, did something horny again, did something stupid, I'm an idiot, I don't know how the real world works. But no, in this instance, it's messy, it's soft, and it's gentle. It's like the weirdest combination of what to me seems like a real interaction, a real awkward encounter, a real thought process, even within Denji realizing that, wait, maybe I don't want to move in this direction. Maybe I want to actually keep something that could be the best version of itself. Unfortunately, we know where that goes. But, and even with all those moments happening, we still have beautiful lenses into seeing how much she genuinely cares for Aki in a situation that is like, well, what? What? We still gonna see, even in the subliminal things where she's like, why does everyone love this Maki person, all right? It's, man, I'm starting to lose myself here, but guys, it is so good. And then the scene where, this is probably the antithesis of everything, when they wake up and they kind of have lunch together, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but Denji kind of was built in despair, uncomfortableness, unfairness, cruelty, to where he's just like, what are you talking about? I live cringe. My whole life was cringe. What are you talking about? And then they just move on, and it's beautiful. It's a great thing. And this softness, and then the thing that is the moment to me, which is brilliant storytelling, is the moment where they both promise to do something. I don't want to spoil too much, even though we've already done that, at least for episode 8. They both promise to help each other in a specific way. And it's a beautiful moment of like, okay, we're starting a chapter, and if you've ever seen anything storytelling, you know what to expect from this. It's like, okay, this is going to be the next like subtle thing. They like kind of hang on, and they, you see her like peek behind Maki and then like gesture, ask her out, or some weird shit, like we know what this thread is going to be. To only have it moments later where the storytellers pluck the thread, take the character away in a beautiful way, in a way that feels just, in a way that feels like a worthy death, if that makes any sense. It's not fair in any stretch of the word, in the word, but fairness doesn't exist in this world. That's something that the storyteller has been laying it on thick for us this whole time, which is, this is not a world where fairness is plentiful, but that doesn't mean hope isn't. And that's this other thing that comes after that, which is this girl giving everything, and unfortunately it's not enough, and that sucks. That's painful at times, but ultimately things still work out, and and other people's dreams and desires and will to live helps carry everything else forward. But man, I don't mean to describe this scene as not incredibly sad, and I don't mean to describe this scene as like, oh, you didn't connect with this character or anything like that. That the thing that shocks me, the thing that is utterly brilliant about this episode and this show, frankly, even just for having this one episode, is that very, very quickly, this character isn't in like 7 episodes. They're in, I think, like 2 or 3, 2.5 probably. And in the first episode, they're shown somewhat sparsely. Only in this one episode do they truly unravel this character even more and more and more. They give you a thread to follow of, oh, we're gonna make this promise in which we're both gonna help each other, Denji and her. Only to say, this world is not fair, and then pluck that thread. But then also do it in such a way that it honors what you know about the character. And I don't think this would have worked if we didn't know so much, so quickly, so deeply about this character, this eye patch girl, Himeno. I'm probably saying that. I'm always frightened to say names because I always say them horribly. But yeah, only because we know how much she cares for Aki. We only know that because of the various like subtle things that talk about how she lost so many partners and how Aki stood up for her and was there and survived. And then she grew to love, but then she could never take him away and separate him from this desire to do this, his own ambition, his own dream, which makes there just like this state of, we were at the beginning of a story anyway. Like, if we did watch this Aki, Himeno back and forth, it would have been like this struggle about her trying to convince him to drop his dream and her knowing that he would never do that, and it just becoming this mess. Also, we now know that the guy was only going to live like 4 years anyway. So it's like, it just, the things that they do and the seeds that they lay make it so that this doesn't, to me, hurt me. This doesn't insult me, is what I kind of wanted to say, but I don't mean to be so prideful. But like sometimes it feels like storytellers are telling you a story only to make you feel shitty, make you feel sad. Whereas this story to me is like, no, I want to make you understand, fall in love, connect with, see this character in every possible lens. And then I'm going to put them to rest, close the page. They're going to be in the past. But you're never going to not be able to know them, and you're not going to be able to not understand why they did what they did, why they had to do what they did, and be at peace with the fact that they are at peace with what they did. It's like this, I don't know how to describe it, and especially in the moment that they did, it's like beautiful. Like, like it's not like a death where they're like, a person was stabbed to death, and like just, no, it was like, no, this person slowly gave away every single part of them for the person that they loved, and then that's beautiful. It's still sad as well. One thing I was telling you guys this on stream, just to pull back the veil, and you guys were like, I thought it was sad as hell, Grin, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's not sad. I'm saying the way that it did it was beautiful, and it wasn't. Its purpose was not to make you sad. Its purpose was to say, I showed you this character. I pulled back every single layer, and you understand them and know them very, very well. And now, because you know so much of them, you know that the way that they went out is beautiful because you know how much they care about this person. You know how much they're willing to give. You know how much the circumstance already was not perfect. Aki's gonna die very soon. And Himeno just wanted to have a couple years that were okay. It also makes more sense why Himeno didn't want him to use the katana at all. Although I don't even think she knew how little time he had. So, man, oh man. What an absolute beautiful episode show. As much as the entire series is awesome, and like the antithesis of Chainsaw Man is just watching Denji carve up people, almost like waiting for someone to Hulk out. Or for a werewolf transformation to take hold so you can just see the carnage. They contrast that crazy, ferocious momentum with the quiet, slow, and silent, melodic filming and like storytelling where they're not afraid to go super slow. Be like, no. We're gonna take our time, and you're gonna be happy we did. And that is just a masterclass in storytelling, my friend. I think I would have gotten bored if it was always this slow, but just the fact that it is so punchy, it is so go, and then just let's get our strength back again, and let me show you something even cooler than that carnage. It's gonna take a while to get, and let's go. It's just such an amazing story. I would highly suggest Chainsaw Man. I would say look out for episode 8 because it is just brilliant. I think there's no need to say watch this show because it is so popular. It is so executed so well. The only tragedy is that it's probably going to be another 2 years till we get another season, which is painful because, you want more. And yeah. And yeah, but absolutely must watch. I think who would watch it is a person who likes violence, blood, viscera, pain, but also people who just love storytelling and want to understand and unravel characters. I think this is going to be a masterclass in that. Check out Chainsaw Man. Thank you kindly for your time. I'll continue to ramble at you about anime for as long as you'll have me. Thank you kindly, and goodbye, my friends.